EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich with your outlook for July 29th, 2025. It is Tuesday. A lot to cover in today's video. The Tuesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated. As summer is in full swing, it's never too early to start thinking about the cozy months ahead. This winter, why not add a burst of color to your living space or refresh that well-loved kitchen or bathroom? At Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated, they specialize in transforming interiors with their residential and commercial painting services. With over 40 years of experience, their family-owned business is dedicated to delivering exceptional quality and customer service that you can trust. Whether you're looking for a bold new look or a subtle update, their expert team will guide you through every step, including wallpaper removal and custom color consultations that are tailored just for you. Proudly serving the Southeast PA counties of Montgomery, Bucks, and Chester. Call them today. The phone number above me here in the video, 484-571-9233 to schedule your free estimate. And don't forget to mention that you saw this ad on EPAWA and you'll receive 15% off the total cost of any job that is scheduled between January and March of 2026. They are Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated, proud sponsor of the Tuesday video forecast. One other mention here, we got Musicfest coming up. It starts this Friday, August 1st. We have preview night Thursday night, the 31st of July, and it continues through Sunday, August 10th. And with close to 600 performances from over 440 bands, Musicfest provides so much to see and hear, almost too much. So how do you know which bands you should take the time to see? Well, your next favorite band podcast has you covered. This evening at 7 p.m., they'll be live streaming their 4th annual Musicfest Exordium. This is the show to help you prep for the fest, which will be live streamed on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook with special guests and live performances. So like, follow, and subscribe to tune in either live or on demand after, and yours truly, that's me, will be part of this podcast for the 4th straight year this evening to provide some early thoughts on the weather for the fest, as EPAWA is the official forecast provider of Musicfest and all of their year-round Arts Quest events, which is now our 12th straight year of doing so. Again, this evening, 7 p.m. for Musicfest Exordium, hosted by our friends at your next favorite band. This is the hat I have on for them in this video. This is the once-a-year thing I just do, too. I usually have just one sponsor. Wanted to limit it to that, but we have this thing going on tonight that I'm a part of, so I want to make sure you heard about that too. So today we have a very hot and humid day. Stop me if you heard me before with this nonsense. But 93 to 99 is the temperature spread across the region today. It's going to be oppressively hot and humid. Humidity is ridiculous again, mid-70s dew points. If you have to be outside for any length of time, please take breaks or seek shade or air conditioning if possible. It's just not a good day to be outside. In addition to that, we talked about the wildfire smoke that would be most prevalent today, and it still is there. There's a large area, especially across the central regions of our coverage area right here, that's going to have some noticeable wildfire smoke near ground level. This is only 8 meters above ground smoke density that this is measuring. So the areas that are not this will be close enough to smell it here. Vertically integrated smoke is even more of the area influenced by that, so that's going to give you a little bit of a haze today. So we have in our forecast mostly sunny, hazy, hot, and humid. So the 3 H's today because of that wildfire smoke. This is originating from central Canada, the wildfires that have been ongoing there, and this is going to be the worst day of it. As we get into go back to the regular near surface, that's where the near surface smoke is. Once we get to Wednesday, though, this should be much less to deal with here on Wednesday as winds shift to the southwest. It's partly cloudy skies tomorrow, hot and humid conditions continuing, and then we're going to turn our attention to Thursday. Now, late in the day here on Wednesday, our north central and northeast PA areas could see some relief from this heat and humidity. Now, tomorrow's 92 to 97. Again, either side of the middle 90s. It's not going to be much different than today. Maybe a degree or two less, but I mean, still high dew points. It's really not going to feel much different. And it's not like we have relief coming here or anything like that, but there could be late in the day. This is 5 p.m. across northeast PA. You see some initiation here, some showers, perhaps a thunderstorm. This would be garden variety, but there could be a little bit of relief for some of you up by I-80 here. But this doesn't get much further south before nightfall, and they just dissipate. So a couple of you might get into that here. And then overnight, we're going to have the cold front, Next cold front approaching. Won't quite get here on Thursday morning. Could be an isolated shower, though, in the morning on Thursday. Once we get beyond that, we have this area of low pressure that's going to move along the boundary and enhance rainfall, we think. And it's going to be the target areas are still in question. The GFS is doing something different and has it further south than everything else, but the NAM and the European model are both focusing on an area of solidly eastern PA straight through northern New Jersey for the heaviest amounts of rain with this. GFS, again, like I said, is further south, but it's on its own with that idea. Here's the European model with that. Here's that frontal boundary draped over the region, then low pressure enhancing rainfall, again, in those same areas across eastern Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey, most notably, where you could have 1 to 2 inches of rain. This is what the NAM high res, or excuse me, not the high res, this is the lower resolution because I have to go out far beyond 60 hours, which is all the 3-kilometer NAM, the high resolution version goes. So what to do is a longer range. Again, a few showers possible Thursday morning, but this is mainly an afternoon and evening and overnight deal here. You get some heavier rain moving in with this as that low pressure is moving along that boundary. So you got to see a lot of yellows and oranges and even some reds here. So this is going to be some pretty heavy rainfall. And unfortunately, for preview night of Musicfest, that's Thursday evening. The Megan Maroney show is that evening, and that's the preview night. So it's going to be a tough go at it for that first preview night. The good news is beyond that, Musicfest looks great for this year. Low humidity, delightful temperatures, no precipitation. It's looking pretty good. But preview night's going to be in trouble, it looks like, unfortunately, unless this timing changes. And we're getting closer to this, and the timing is kind of honing in on this time frame here where we get to the evening and then overnight with some heavy rain possible. Early estimates, hold on, this is out by Friday morning and off the coast here. So on the NAM anyway, the European model is trying to hold it up a little bit in our eastern zones. If I get to, that's Friday morning, and it still has it along our eastern zones here early Friday morning yet. So leftover shower maybe in the eastern areas, but then becoming partly cloudy after that here on Friday. Early estimates of rainfall. Again, European model and the NAM are honing in on these areas for a 1 to 2 inch swath in here. And that whole area. That's much of eastern Pennsylvania and also northern New Jersey. Now, can this shift around a little bit? Yes, it can. I just want to show you what the GFS has for that same time frame. It has it targeting South Jersey and Delaware. Just modest amounts in the interior here. But again, this is on its own here. Everything else is kind of following this general idea, which is going to be a little bit further north. So, and it's been consistently showing that over the past several runs here on the European model. The NAM now has an agreement with this area being hit the hardest as well. We'll continue to follow this over the next 2 days. This is, of course, Thursday, so the next two videos I'll have, is, of course, is Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday will be fine-tuning here. But we just want to make sure these areas are really first before we can send any kind of alerts for this, because this is a decent amount of rainfall with that enhancement of 1 to 2 inch area here of rainfall with that precipitation moving through. Like I said, in the wake of this, though, we're going to have a lot cooler temperatures coming in here. We talked about this in the last video. Very cool relative to this time of year. We're going to be, these today and tomorrow about 5 to 7 degrees above average. Maybe even more today, actually, in a few spots. And then we're going to be the exact opposite, below average, once we get in the wake of this. So probably not getting out of the 70s in most locations, except for down by Philadelphia here on Friday. In the wake of this system, many morning clouds giving way to sun. High pressure just sits over top of the region here for the entirety of the weekend. So we have mostly sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday. Temperature's going to moderate a little bit. You might get on either side of 80 both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday might be in the lower 80s, and maintaining that here on Monday. So it's still below average for this time of year. We should still be in the mid to upper 80s. So lower 80s is still, and low humidity is going to be delightful straight through this weekend. And then going ahead to early next week, pretty much the same idea here. We're back to mostly sunny skies going in, and this is going to last pretty much most of this week. The next threat is something that might happen at the end of next week. So we have a long way for the actual Musicfest, which runs from the 1st through the 10th, to be pretty dry up through at least the 7th or 8th. Okay, so that's going to be 2/3 of the fest that is going to be completely dry and comfortable. So we're looking at a pretty good stretch for that. If anything changes, of course, we'll let you know. But I want to make sure that we focus on this Thursday because that's the big rainmaker possible. Again, I don't see any severe weather with this right now, just because the timing's not there. But we'll see. That's not impossible to see some marginally severe storms with these as they move through. Right now, it's not indicating that. It's just a heavy rain producer, for the most part, as the primary threat. But that doesn't mean you can't get some of these get a little feisty with some lightning and some gusty winds. So we'll keep on top of that as well as we go throughout this week. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martus. That is your outlook for July 29th, 2025. Have a great Tuesday.